Hello everyone, Shinto Bean here discussing some more Warhammer combat cards, and in this video we'll be taking a look at campaigns and specifically all of the modifiers to the campaign. So these are all of the special rules that they added to make campaigns feel a little bit more unique. So first of all, there are three general types of campaigns. On the left is just the regular standard campaign, which utilizes campaign energy, which usually recharges once every hour and a half, I think. In the middle are explorations, which are a little more special type of campaign in which you earn specific rewards as you go, and they usually require you to win a certain number of times, and these often utilize the strike system. So if you get 4 losses, then you strike out and you'll have to buy back in with like plasma. So this is instead of using campaign energy. And on the right side is PvP. So these are live matches where you play against other players, and these do not use strikes or campaign energy. You can just play as many matches as you want in order to get the wins to earn the rewards. Now moving on to the modifiers themselves, there are quite a few, and I've sort of divided them into categories. The first one here are all of the modifiers which affect the stats of the cards you have deployed in some way or another. So just going through them one by one, the Aura of Rage increases the melee attack of all cards on the field by +5 at the beginning of each turn. Next is Cut Off the Head. For this one, the highest cost card on both sides will be marked as a priority threat, and when it's destroyed, 80% of the point cost of that card is added to the attack stats of the other side. So you can very quickly get a really huge buff to the stats of your units whenever you destroy the highest cost card on the opponent's side. It's one of my favorite modifiers. And then over on the right side we've got Warp Sickness. I don't see this one too often, but it just reduces the starting health of all cards when they enter the battlefield. And then Tormentor's Toxin is kind of similar, where whenever a card attacks, it deals 30% of the damage back to itself. So all 4 of these modifiers make the battles go more quickly because they're either increasing the attack or reducing the health of your cards. The least popular of these modifiers though is the one on the bottom, Volatile Conditions, which for some reason seems to be reserved for Tau campaigns, and basically adds these weather cycles. Each turn your deployed cards will either get plus 50% to their ranged attack, that's for the clear skies, or there'll be Heavy Fog, which reduces your ranged attack but increases the melee attack, or Torrential Rain, which just completely shuts down your ranged attack entirely. This modifier is really annoying because it just prevents you from attacking when you want to, so you just feel like you have less control over what's going on. And next up, we've got modifiers for the card level. These have become pretty common, and especially in explorations, you'll see these quite often. So even playing field, setting all the cards in your collection to the same level, and this is the same for all players. On the right side, that's when everything is set to max level, which is a lot of fun because I don't actually have any max level cards in my collection, so it's always interesting to see just how powerful things get. Next up are modifiers which limit the type of cards that you are able to use. So on the left side up at the top we got Boarding Actions, which only allows you to use HQ Troop and Elite units that are infantry or bulky. So this is just based on the keyword cards that you'll find on the back of each card. More recently we had a Chaos campaign with this Battle Forged modifier, which only allows you to use Undivided Corn and Demon cards. I haven't seen too many of those yet. And then there are also other modifiers that just set a certain warlord locked into place for that campaign. So for example, Scarbrand or Gilliman, or maybe one of those big Imperial or Chaos Knights, which are pretty fun because those are warlords which you normally do not have access to. Over on the right side is the infamous Battle Scars modifier, which I personally enjoy, but a lot of players don't like as much because it's just very difficult for newer players to get through the campaign, because whenever you lose a card in battle, you can no longer use it for the rest of the campaign. And next up we got modifiers for the deck points limit available for that campaign. So typically the maximum number of deck points you can use is 199. That's when you reach sort of the max player rank. But there are modifiers that will change that, so we've seen ones that decrease the maximum amount. So everyone can only use 150 points, but usually they'll allow you to use more than the regular 199. So we've seen 225, 250, 399, and up to 400 deck points available for the campaign. And then finally, we've got a few modifiers that affect the difficulty level. Often for special campaigns, we'll see this Apocalypse modifier, which I'm not actually sure. Sometimes the campaign is indeed much more difficult than normal. The difficulty scales a lot more quickly. But some of these campaigns, for whatever reason, seemed even easier than normal campaigns. So take it with a grain of salt, I guess. And then over on the right side, we had a new type of campaign, which I've only seen once so far, where we've got basically easy, medium, and hard mode, with different rewards for each tier. So that is it for all the modifiers that I could think of. Let me know if I missed anything. And also, I'd be interested to hear what your favorite modifier is of the list, as well as your least favorite modifier. Let us know in the comments, but that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.